What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. We feeling it, man. We feeling it. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with Jay. It's Tuesday episode, right? It's plenty of going on in NBA. Got my guy Shark with me as every day, man. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We trying to get some cash, right? Helping people out with the info. What's up with you, Shark?
Not a whole lot. Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. A beautiful, beautiful Tuesday outside in Florida. It is actually raining on 70 degrees. A nice little reprieve from 90 degrees sweltering heat. Nice little card today. Smaller card, I believe 5 or 6 games. Some great looks, some not so good looks, some definitely contaminating points, and things we all want to discuss. J Money, lead the way.
Man, it's a good day, man. It's like you say, 5 games, one of them postponed, man. But we're here, right? Whatever games we get, we'll try to cap them. Whatever players in there, we'll try to cap this. Try to find some cash, man. First game up, man. I'd like to talk about the big game first, but we'll go to the streets of Miami first. Let's go to South Beach one time. The sun popped out real quick, man. I think I might have to throw the glasses on some Miami Vice type shit. But big game here, right now. The Pacers, the Heat, one of them, they're 1-1 so far, right? Each team is 1-1, as the dog as well. So it's Shark. What are we doing this one? You think the Pacers might come out representative effort? Tyler Hero back in there. What are we doing, my guy?
Oh, this is tough. I mean, I think you go back to the last 2 matchups, the line has not mattered. Miami went in there and laid a reasonable figure at -4, did lose in overtime in the third and fourth back-to-back, back when Indy was starting their lackluster campaign. It has continued, but I think we're seeing upward movement in this position. Obviously, going back to the last matchup, 113-104 Miami, Ciroc on ice game by definition. Not a lot of players. Indy laid down. And then you come back in here again. Does the line matter? Obviously, it swings hard to Indy, but Miami has significant injuries. And this is what we've seen with Miami now for a couple weeks almost, where these players are just in and out. They're unpredictable. Sometimes they show up with a big effort. Sometimes the other team lays down. Sometimes the other team does not lay down. And I think ultimately in this position, you are coin flipping this environment here.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, the only way I'm looking at this game is the Pacers, guys. It's simple. They are on the road. It's not necessarily like you don't want to take the Pacers on the road in theory, but in this particular matchup, the Heat are starting to miss too many guys, right? And this is not a spot that you want to bet the Heat. Just me looking at this game, looking deeper into it. Heat come back off of a 4-game road trip. So far this season, they've done this twice. Both games, they did lose the first half, and versus the Nuggets, they lost. They got smacked up. They still had Bam Adebayo. They had PJ Tucker in that game. Neither one of those will be in here, and I think missing Tucker is even bigger because you only have Deadman out there. Maybe you're at 7 off the bench. Akpala, the Heat are really starting to get thin out there. They're missing guys like Cody Martin. The list is really starting to get long. So the Pacers are a little bit healthier. They still have their starting 5 and that's important because the Pacers are top heavy as well, my guys. So as long as they have their starting 5 out there, they got Brogdon back. I'd be looking towards the Pacers in this one. It's the only way I'd be looking. Earlier is probably better with the Heat coming off this road trip. Like I say, even versus the Pelicans, they cleaned them up, ended up winning the game by double digits, but they were still down in that first quarter and the first half. The Pelicans covered their first half money line. Like I say, the Heat still had all their guys in, so it's not good. Not a good spot. This is not the spot that I want the Heat. Heavy lean to Pacers early in this one, and often I think they could possibly win this game as well. I'd be looking at some Sabonis props. Him and Turner literally should own the boards in this one. Deadman, their starting center, the legs aren't too young. You see what I'm saying? So heavy link to Pacers early in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they cast the trifecta spot, my guys. Knicks versus Pistons. We'll be really quick on this one, guys. This one, this line opened up at 9. It was at 9.5. Could be one of those where it's like it's high for a reason. Pistons, worst team in the league, coming off a win here, Shark. I don't know if we could have confidence to lay points with the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be difficult. Obviously, you go back to last year. The Knicks did clean them up all 3 times. And I remember there was actually a specific game back, I believe in April, where we went on there on a weekend. And we said that the Knicks were going to absolutely annihilate them in the double revenge game for Detroit. It was actually a short line at that.
My guy cut out real quick. He'll be right back, man. We're going to holler at Junior real quick. Shark, you back? You back, my guy.
Yeah. Last year, they had gone into Detroit and blown them out, I believe, 125-81. And the line did not really matter there. They had won by 10 points at Madison Square Garden on a -7. and it came down to 2.5 on the road, which theoretically was short by 1.5 points, and they still blew them out. So theoretically, the Knicks just own the Pistons, but the Knicks have obviously completely flipped the script from last year. That team last year was just absolutely juiced up. They were focused. They were defensively oriented. They had good balance. This team has none of that. And if you really go through the Knicks' schedule this year, they haven't won a home game in basically, I believe, a month. I think they're 0-5 last 5 straight up, dating back to a win against the Lakers on national TV about a month ago. Giving them 1 point of merit, their home calendar has been very difficult. All of those losses were against playoff teams, West and East. But when I really go through their schedule, 2 outright home losses to the Magic and a non-cover against the Rockets do correlate to what Detroit's doing here. You said it. Detroit off a win. They only have 5 of them, I believe, have gotten hammered all 4 of the previous ones. And I do think a reasonable corollary was at Brooklyn, 117-91 off their first win. But again, triple revenge game. Not sure how much that stands for anything. But again, I think it's more so on the Knicks being really a poor ATS team in this campaign and very poor at home. Again, with those cross-referencing points against the Magic twice and the Rockets at home on similar figures, all non-covers. This is just a tough game to bet across any points of reference here, Jay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, bro. I do think it may be too many points, but then you have the Pistons who could literally just get blown out here. I'll be honest, guys. Right now, this is a sharp take, but Pistons have a better squad than the Knicks right now. Obviously, the Knicks getting there at Madison Square Garden. Maybe Kemba Walker comes off the bench. And there was something I noticed as well, him talking shit to Thibs. They're kind of beefing with the coach right now. Like, he went back to the bench. He's not even talking to Tibbs. I'll slap the hands of the assistant coaches. Fuck you, though. So, I mean, that's turmoil. You don't want that. Me personally, I don't like to see that. I'm definitely not laying points with motherfuckers out here that's going up against their coaches. So even though you're playing well, want to play well on the floor, you're into it. They're saying that this team may want to get Thibs out there. Like Shark said it earlier this year. So who they do get Derrick Rose back today. Burks, Fournier, Randall, Noel. The bench is less than Mitchell Robinson. He's taken a huge decline this year. Kemba Walker, Taj Gibson. It's going to be tough, man. I think the Pistons, even though they're trash and coming off a win, like I say, I wouldn't tell anyone to bet this game, but I guess I still lean Pistons, but there's no way in hell I'm betting it. Probably go under, guys. This will probably be a snooze fest. Let's go to we're going to the streets of Dallas here, man. We're going to the streets of Dallas, man. I hate to go head-to-head with my guy, and I know why he likes it. The Wolves been nice, man. They've been balling. It's a tough game. I'll admit. If Porzingis doesn't play, obviously the line will shift back to the Timberwolves, but they got their 5 best defenders out, my guys. The Mavs 4-0 against the spread in revenge games this season. I think they make it 5-0 today, man. I think the Mavs getting this win. I know the Wolves been hot, but I like the Mavs. I got the jacket on too. Porzingis in there. I'm all over it, man. Shark, what we doing? What you like?
Well, very suddenly not so casual. Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. Official play, Minnesota +1. Disagreement, and of course, we can disagree. Jay and I can disagree and have a conversation and be very reasonable civil adults. Something that should happen in society more often. And what I'm looking at here is what I said the other day. When Minnesota gets on their wave, they do cluster very hard. They were 1-7 ATS over an 8-game sample. Then they came in at 6-0 ATS. Then they went 1-7 again over an 8-game sample, largely centered around D'Angelo Russell being out of the lineup. And now they're 4-0 ATS. And I said this again the other day. This might go on after I said they would beat Dallas and cover the previous game for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. So I just think this team is a lot classier and deep and professional than people are willing to give them credit for in the national market. Obviously, not a sexy team, not a playoff team. They're not really covered on national media outlets. But really, when you track the number, which I think is the important thing here, Dallas laid 9 points at home last year and did not cover. Then they went into Minnesota and laid a strong 8 where it should have come down significantly. They blew them out, so the line did matter. Then in the season finale last year, it came down to Dallas -3, which significantly towards Minnesota, and Minnesota hammered them. And then, as we said, going back to the previous game, it flipped 6 to Minnesota again, and Minnesota did get there. This opened at Minnesota -1, which, again, it should have come down to pick 1. That movement, I think, is just market steam. And I do agree, obviously, 4-0 ATS and revenge games. And I said this to Jay off the record. I consider all these points. I know it's a revenge game. I know Minnesota's won 4 in a row. I know all this stuff. But I do think when odds makers are telling us that story with Minnesota -1, I think it speaks to this cluster effect that they're capable of doing. And that's all I'm going to say on it. And I love Jay more than the world and the basketball world. He's a great guy. But we're disagreeing on this one. Official play. Minnesota +1 unit.
I love you too, my guy. But I do like the Mavs here. Like I say, that line closed -3, -3.5 for the Timberwolves. This one opened up at -1. With them not knowing that Porzingis is played, they kind of have to have it there in the middle. So, like I say, I love line functionality, but when there is a big player that moves the line spread, especially if they don't know he's in there, you will see the line kind of flip. I mean, like I say, if Porzingis is in, you'll see this go Mavs at the very least -2. That's a 5-point shift right there. Also, Patrick Beverly, Jared Vanderbilt, two guys that started for them. One the point guard, one of them the starting forward guard. You could argue the two best defenders on the league. Both of those enter health and safety protocols. This is probably the game where no Anthony Edwards, no Vanderbilt, no Beverly catches up to them. They are 3-7 against the spread, last 10 in Dallas. Porzingis in here, it's a go Mavs for me. Like I said, the line will go up. It already flipped -1.5 with it. That was another thing. I didn't like that the line flipped this morning. We already knew that Beverly and Vanderbilt was going to be out in this one. I like the Mavs to make it 5-0 against the spread in the revenge game this year, my guys. I like the Mavs, man. I'll be honest. Porzingis not in there. It will hurt the team's offense, but I think that Beverly and Vanderbilt missing and Anthony Edwards really shows some merit here. When they double team Cat, he wasn't really making the nice decisions. Home team tonight, man, lost 2-0 straight. Let's get it, man. Mavs, I got the jacket on last time we cashed in Memphis. Let's go, my guys. Next game up, man. We're going to the streets of New Orleans. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shark, we heard this before. LeBron in Miami. We got the Blazers here in New Orleans. A lot of injuries, my guys. Dame, Little, and Nurkic are all questionable here. I'll be honest. I think it's some injury report manipulation. You talk about teams getting hot. I think the Blazers are starting to catch some wind right here. I think all three will probably be on the injury report and end up playing here, Shark. But the spread has flipped to the Pelicans. Obviously, got to wait to see what's happening. But what you like anything in this one, my guy?
No, this is really tough. I mean, we want to continue to buy Portland, as you just said. But you look at the other side of this. New Orleans is also a buy team. And New Orleans does have a triple revenge element here. They did lose all 3 last year to Portland, but not emphatically. Kind of the polar opposite of the Knicks Pistons environment last year. 2 games were dead coin flips. 1 point and 2 points against the money line. And then the final one, I believe, 101-93 later on. But again, I think New Orleans at home here comes in with added motivation. And we always talk about this. If a team's going to go on a run, like the Blazers will go on a run, they don't have to win every single game. I would like to continue to buy them, but again, triple revenge and the line just hovering in this middle ground right on the money line. I think this is an absolute gamble here tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Hey, go on a run, but not necessarily get the win. I could see it, my guys. I could see it. Like I say, Nurkic, Little, and Dame. 3 huge injuries here. We knew that Dame was questionable with a hammy. That is something to be, you know what I'm saying? Because if his hammy is really injured, he probably won't play. Little and Nurkic, it could be small injuries. I know Nurkic was questionable last game with a finger. He ended up playing. If they want to win the game, their guys should play simple. If you want to go on a streak, you want to try to make the playoffs, you want to be professional, you'll play. It's that simple, my guys. So it's lean Blazers for me. Obviously, waiting on the huge injuries. Last game up. Oh, and I think we may have the info here, but we got the Suns versus the Lakers here, Shark. You like anything in this one?
No, this is razor sharp. You and I were talking about this last night in terms of the line construction. If you go back to the second game of the season, Phoenix did come in there and beat them 115-105, a 10 gap on a +1.5. So the gap was 11.5. Now the line moves to 7. So if you go 7 plus 1.5, it's 8.5, and they're readjusting for home court. So you add 3 points. That's an 11.5 gap. So basically what happened in the first game was an 11.5 gap against all these factors, and they moved it directly to the line outcome for today's game at -7, which is all math and all sorts of stuff. And I know it might be boring for you guys, but that's exactly why the line is absolutely razor sharp. Phoenix comes in here, obviously scorching hot, top team in the league, I would say right now. And the Lakers are unbelievably inconsistent. But when the Lakers want to show up, they can show up. It's a revenge game. They got insulted in their home stadium going back early season. And the line, again, is just spot on the number. I think this is another one of those Laker gamble lines. And they've pretty much been on the number at home all season, whether or not they were a favorite or a dog. It's just a tough cap.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough cap, man. The Lakers did get a couple of players back, so that probably helps them a little bit. THT, I'm not really sold on him. A lot of people are really sold on THT, but I'm not. But that's a whole other story. Did get Dwight Howard back. They do need him. Obviously, missing Anthony Davis. I'll tell you right now, I think the Suns are the best team in the league. The bench play is absolutely lovely, and they're still missing a couple guys still, but their bench, I mean, like, what are we doing here? It's the best bench in the league. Now, they did score 137 against the Hornets. It won't be that easy, to be honest with you. The Hornets run up and down the court, absolute no defense at all. I can't say it won't necessarily, I mean, the Suns were making them there every three that they attempted, so it may not be that easy tonight. They are going on the road after a couple games. I don't know, man. I'd like to see Scott Foster in this one. A lot of people may not know, but I'd like to see the Scott Foster special. He's not riffing, but I still lean the Lakers. I lean the under here. The Lakers may try to get to running up and down with the Suns, but I still think Suns defense is way too good. They definitely won't run and gun like the Hornets did. So a lot of people looked at last game, okay, 137. The pace won't necessarily be there fast and frenetic. Lakers still they may run and gun at some points, but they still at some point try to slow the game down. Heavy lean to the under for me. I'm not betting the Lakers, although I do think they could keep the game close, but I'm not betting the game. Heavy lean to the under. If I was betting the game, I'd be looking towards the under shark. What we doing, man? Break them off future officials before we get out of here.
Well, as we just discussed, Minnesota Timberwolves +1. I think they can.
Oh boy, what are we doing, my guys? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
And as we know in this life, 1 unit means 1 unit for everybody out there. So don't go nuts. Don't be too crazy. I have 1 unit on it. Jay Money has 1 unit on the other side. And we will compete. We will love it. And we will be back here tomorrow to discuss tomorrow's card. And we will have a lot more bangers and great plays for the rest of the week. So signing out, Sharky Waters Nation, Downwards Lifestyle. Ride the way we got to walk. Jay Money, close them out.
Gotcha. Yeah, you had cut out there for a sec, but my guys on the Timberwolves, my guy. Hey, if y'all missed the breakdown, go back and check it out. I'll be honest, I hadn't bet the Mavs yet, but I do like the Mavs in this game. Me personally, I'm waiting on Porzingis. It is a huge superstar type of injury. You will probably see the line move at least a couple of points if he's either way. This is one of those lines that's in the middle. They don't know if he's playing or not. So whichever way it's going to go, it's going to move a couple of points. That the closing line in this game is what will matter, in my opinion. So I'm waiting for Porzingis here, but I do like the Mavs today, my guys. That would be my top play. Heavy lean to Pacers in the first half. Could be a possibly trifecta spot for those Pacers today. Lean that Suns and Lakers under. I know the line is going up, but I like for this to be a little bit more of a defensive game than people think. Also, lean the Blazers, my guys. I think they're catching wind. If they have their players out there, obviously Little, Nurkic, and Dame, you could argue 3 of their most important players right now. If 2 of those 3 play, I'd be on the Blazers here. The Pelicans coming off a huge win versus the Bucks. They're still, like, they caught wind a little bit too, but they're still they're not there yet, in my opinion. Not there. Blazers still a little bit ahead of them, man. That's the show today, my guys. We love and respect everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Check us out. It's my guy Sharks and Sports. Go and follow him on Twitter. You can follow me as well at JMoneyIsMoney. We out, my guys. Let's cash.